welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. I am, of course, your host, Mike G, and you can always find our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Alexa, Valhalla, the Lakes of Surtur. Don't get really good audio down there. And anywhere podcasts can be found. I am extremely excited for this week's show because we have a new guest. We have a new guest that, as the crowds roar in the Coliseum, they scream more as the proud lion is about to bite into the gladiator.
This is epic, huh?
Yeah, man. There's trumpets and all types of shit, dude. It's nuts. So I would like to introduce Winter to the show. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for having me here. This is my first nerd-related podcast.
Yes.
Although the whole medium of podcasting is for nerds,
right?
But I do find myself not really talking about this stuff as much as I want to.
That's the reason I made this podcast, because I was tired of talking to myself and just being like, aren't you mad about Sega? And my friends are like, what? As they're like playing like Three Flags Up in the backyard. I'm just like, oh,
right.
I have no one to scream at in my hypeness. I'll just talk to my coworkers sometime. I'll look over to my coworker and be like, aren't you excited that we're getting Breath of the Wild? She's like, what's that? And I just turn over quietly, and I'm just like, oh. So that's the pure birth of this podcast. It's just reaching out, to fellow nerds and geeks or whatever you want to label us, and have a platform to talk about this stuff because it's hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I live in a small mountain town, and it's very interesting that we still have a few. We have like a nerd community in here.
Cool,
but it's certainly not as expansive as I would want it. Let's just say there's a lot of Magic the Gathering players around here.
Man, I tried Magic, dude. Oh my goodness, that's a causality loop right there.
Right. Just let me hand you a bunch of cash and hopefully I can win.
Just give me $17,000 and I'll come in third place.
Perfect. I won this excellent mat that's worth $5.
Right. I'm so sick. I have this new tarp that has my favorite Earth land card on the back.
Oh, you're speaking magic.
I believe in magic, man. I had a summer where I was like, I'm going to play Magic and I'm going to be the best, and have my Ash Ketchum hat, and I was ready to go.
Perfect.
And I got bodied immediately, and I was just like, it costs money to win. I just was like, no.
Oh yeah. They're the original paywall.
Right. There's a hell of a paywall in Magic, man.
Yeah.
I walked up with like my hat in my hand in my local comic book store because they run Magic tournaments. And I might as well have been Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat. I just got punched through my chest. Some guy pulled out like an Egyptian god card and just wrecked me. And I was just like, oh, okay. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not good.
And then
Yeah, I work at a youth center, so I still have to play, but I try to get them into other games. Like, have you heard about anything else?
They're like,
besides,
no.
Yeah. I could stand you playing Hearthstone, but yeah.
It's like,
oh, man.
You guys know about Yu-Gi-Oh? They're like, what? That's for children.
Oh, yeah, I've been criticized. I brought up Yu-Gi-Oh!
And they just all stare at you. Just like, what?
like I'm the cringiest adult they've ever
Like,
seen.
they're like, get out of here, Dad. And you're just like, oh, I'm so
Yeah,
old. This is so lame. I have moments
yeah.
like that where I'm just like, I'm talking to like my cousins. I'm like, you guys still play Injustice? Like, that's for kids. And they just go off and into their like bootleg Ferraris. And I'm just like, I hate you all. You're just
Yeah,
children.
that's for kids. We just play Minecraft.
Right? Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Okay.
That's it's literally made by 3 different Satans to get all the children's minds.
Now, to be honest, I used to be like a Minecraft like fan,
Right.
but then once I saw like the YouTube videos of like these people making rap videos about Minecraft, like, oh, this is virtually a cult that
Yeah.
I just joined, so I got.
I mean, there's people in there making working calculators in Minecraft
Right.
and Starship Enterprises and shit. I'm like, you've had to have sent your soul to some deity to get those type of like focus skills. You know what I'm saying?
I've spent a whole week on this, and
Man,
it's all yeah.
I
Yeah,
forgot
it's
my
bad.
own last name. But I got this sick ass monument of Goku in the middle of
Yeah.
you know, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But anywho, how's your week going, Winter, man? How's it going?
Well, it's going very weird because last night I had a knock on my door. I was watching American Horror Story,
Okay.
Roanoke, and the knock on the door was one of my neighbors. She's an older woman, saying that she needs to be rushed to the ER.
Okay.
And I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so I rush her to the ER, and it's this short, old, we'll say, short, old woman, and then there's this tall, big guy, just
Yeah.
like grabbing her, putting her into the ER sort of thing. And they were looking at me like I'm the reason why she's in here. I'm like,
Right.
no, I'm just a neighbor. Let me
Right.
look. I'm a nice guy. But yeah.
That's strange. That's like the beginning of like The Messengers. You ever seen that horror movie?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Is it? That's crazy.
Or it reminds me of like I always think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they pick up a hitchhiker. That's why I never pick up hitchhikers.
Don't pick up hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Kinda never, unfortunately.
That, and because one of the towns we live next to, there's jail, and they say don't pick anyone up. But
yeah.
That's a problem.
That's a serious issue. You know, it's like, man, that's some serious like. But was she okay? I mean, how did she turn out?
As far as I know, I think she took. This is the second time this has happened.
Oh wow.
So so it's just like a shortness of breath issue, something like that.
I see. Respiratory issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout
I totally
out to
understand that.
smokers out there.
Don't
Shout
do
out
it.
Yeah, well, all about that Vape Nation.
Oh, jeez. Ripping fat clouds. Can't with any of that, man.
Yeah, I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Me neither. I'm asthmatic. I couldn't even know if I wanted to. So it's just like, it's like, Mike, you want to get I can help you set up your new kit.
Yes.
I'm like, I will die if I try this at least once. And I'm not ready.
To be honest,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it at least once. Where they have the like Gandalf style tobacco pipe vape pens,
Right.
that are like I want to try it, but then there's all these people like, don't try it, it's gonna hurt your body. I'm like, but I want to look like Gandalf.
Yeah. One day you gotta get the super long like dragon pipe and just sit in the corner somewhere and spin tails, and just and when you blow the vape, it's like a little. You think about you just broke my brain when Gandalf blew the battleship or the out of smoke. That was
Which one was that?
Was that the Fellowship of the Ring where he was blowing smoke and it turned into like a dragon or something crazy or like a battleship?
Yeah, it's either Fellowship of the Ring or I thought it was the
Two Towers.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
He was the birth of Vape Nation, dude.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
That's going to be the title of this week's podcast. Gandalf is the progenitor of Vape Nation, dude. It's like It's like a Sonic the Hedgehog created furries. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know,
Sonic did, yeah.
Sonic did, man. It's like, oh man, that is the roughest thing I've thought of all week. You know?
So what else?
Hmm?
What's going on with your week then?
Oh man. Speaking of ER, I went to ER for a split second this week, which is always fun. You know, nothing scary. You know, no chest bursters or anything.
Okay.
But you know, just every once in a while, you just gotta take care of yourself. And
Right.
luckily, I live in a city where there's, you know, pick your poison when it comes to hospitals. So got checked out, got some good meds, back on the mend. So
Nice.
other than that, just played some Injustice 2, still playing that game.
Justice 2,
It's an injustice that I'm still playing this damn thing, but it's so good. It's so addictive.
Yeah.
It's not meant for humans.
Well, I'll be honest, I have not, well, I can wait till we talk about the news article.
Yeah.
But just to say, I have, zero knowledge of the, like, I haven't played a single, like, fighter game for, like, the last 5 years. I'm more of a Battlefield. I play Rocket League. Do you play Rocket League?
Yeah, Rocket League is legit, man.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Battlefield. I was gonna play Battlefront 2, but more on that.
Man, that's a can of damn worms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yikes, dude. Okay. Yeah, man, we could definitely get into that. Ay, Chihuahua. Adios mio. Yeah, man. So other than that, I just finished Stranger Things season 2.
Oh, how's that?
It was good. It's a weird show. It's not horror, but it is. It's not science fiction, but it is. It's not the Goonies, but it wants to be. It's like if aliens met Adventures in Babysitting. If you remember that old movies from the 80s.
Yes, yeah.
One of the first mentions of Thor, actually. She used her sister Zit cream to get the hair right. Well, I don't know why I know these details.
Yeah, that is very, like, I would have to watch the episode twice to get that.
Duh.
Yeah, I'm still on episode 2 of Stranger Things.
It's pretty good.
So,
it's just,
yeah.
It's a feel-good show, and the kids are knocking out the park. All these kids going to have bright futures unless they wild out and become, you know, reality stars, which it's a possibility with that many kids working on the show, but they're all great actors. They're killing it. It was a good show.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the third season.
There was an interesting point in, like, the first 2 episodes that one of the kids, he kept showing off his teeth. I'm like, why the heck is this kid showing off his teeth? Like, why? Like, you can't resist these pearly whites, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that, oh, well, in real life he has an issue with his palate in his mouth. I can't remember what the actual name is.
Yeah.
But, like, in the first season, he had, like, he was missing his front teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah, he has, like, a birth defect where he doesn't have a collarbone, and it affects the roof of his mouth, so he had new dentures put in or something like that.
Right.
Which is good for him. You know.
Yeah. But it was like, I didn't figure out why this was the case. Like, why did he keep showing his teeth? Like, 3 times in that episode they were talking about his pearly whites.
Yeah, man, he was
so
hype. He took the writer to the side and said, look, listen, I'm going to ad-lib this shit in, whether you want it or not.
Right.
My teeth are so bright. They're like, oh, okay. If that's what. No.
Look at my teeth.
Look at my teeth, writer. Are they great? Yeah. He's like, yeah, they're awesome. Can I go right now? He's like, fine.
Right.
Then he just pulls down like a PA. Hey, you, look at my teeth. He's just running around the set.
Right. Like, I should really have a spin-off of Stranger Things where it's called just Brighter Things, and we just record my teeth. Thank you very much.
We can copyright. That one's free, Netflix. Yeah. That one's free. You can get like Steve Martin to play the dentist. That'd be dope. Oh. Yo, we in there. Nice. This is money right here.
Money, yeah.
Steve Martin's not doing anything. He's at the house, chilling. Probably eating a bowl of cereal right now. Just hanging out. Oh, man. Yeah, pretty laid back weeks. All right. So, definitely, as we mentioned before during our weeks, let's get into some news because the news is kind of crazy this week. Let's see.
Yeah, you want to do the EA game developer?
Yeah, let's knock that out the park first.
The weirdness of this whole EA. What is it called? Is it going to be EA Gate or Vader Gate?
We call it Stargate. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
This is Stargate EA1 is what this is called. This is kind of the worst.
It's not Stargate Atlantis. Then we're fine to go.
Yeah. Is that the one with the talking telekinetic dolphin?
I have no clue. I saw the trailer for that TV show and I'm like, I'm gonna just avoid Fox or whatever channel this is gonna be on for a few years.
Yeah, I imagine like Dracula waking up in the new century. He looks to the side, he sees Stargate SG-1. He just goes back into the coffin. He's like, all right, another 100 years to see how this shit works out. He's like, no, I will not have any of this bullshit. Oh man, so yeah.
So some of you probably, I don't know if the audience, I'm assuming the audience knows about the whole issue going on with Battlefront 2 at this time.
Yeah.
Where they originally were going to have, let's say, we can call it a paywall sort of scenario.
It's a pay monument, dude.
Where you would have to play a certain number of hours to unlock characters iconic to Star Wars, such as Vader, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker. Yeah, and Luke Skywalker and Vader, you needed 60,000 credits? 60 or 80? Okay.
It was like 80,000 credits or something nuts.
And the amount of hours that you would have needed to play to get that was like 40 or something like altogether it would have been like 120 or something like that.
Yeah.
120 hours of play, which I've never seen a game get that much
ever.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is about these, if you were to, let's say, pay for loot boxes, which is not a sure shot, these are all randomized boxes, that the average amount you would have to pay to reach the amount you need to unlock Vader was reaching numbers of $150 to $250 US.
Oh, wow.
Think about that, because it's not like you could just buy Vader. Like, I could just buy Hellboy.
Right.
In Injustice. No, you have to luck up and get what you need through these randomized loot boxes. And it was estimated $250 to unlock Vader, Luke, Rey, and all the classic characters of Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, people lost their shit, man.
Right. Like the most downvoted Reddit
of all time.
Yeah. That's saying a lot. Because
Reddit is pretty toxic already.
Yeah.
And this thing got like 650K downvotes, which is, it's a population of a large metropolitan area in some cases.
Right.
All
like
said no.
The whole town of Fresno say no. Get out of here.
We said nay.
Yeah.
And EA tried to, the funny part about this is that EA then tried to back up and say, okay, we're going to discount these characters by 75%. And they're like, okay, but then they didn't mention that they're also downgrading some of the achievement points you would get throughout the game. So they balanced it out.
That.
Yeah. So you used to get like 2,500, let's say, coins or whatever. Once you beat the main campaign, now you only get 5,000 coins.
Like it is.
And there's also a time wall on the offline version. So if you play the offline version for more than 5 hours, you have to wait 14 hours to be able to gain coins again. So,
this is insane. What are they thinking?
So it's like it's a mobile game hidden in a console game. Right?
What are they doing over there?
Can you imagine? You've worked on a project, you've sweated, you bled, you put all this thought, you've created models, you've hired voice actors, you put all this work, and just for Billy marketing to say, we've got an idea, let's squeeze as many pennies as we can out of the consumer as possible, because you know they're going to roll out some ultimate edition where all the shit's going to be in it for like $40 a year from now.
Yes.
It's kind of, it's a shining light to show everyone that loot boxes maybe aren't the best practice for all games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like I was debating this with a friend last night where we were talking about microtransactions, and I'm of the opinion like they're here to stay.
Yeah.
We can't fight it. So, my friend will be more of the we can talk. We should still give Ray some hell about it, but it's very, but like EA is like it is. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
My mind is boggled. It reminds me of a video that I watched about this where the guy is saying EA purposely made like this bold, like this wrong-headed thing so that they can then go that we listen to the fans. We're gonna roll back.
I think I watched the same video. Is that the What Culture video?
I think so. Well, it was either a What Culture or it was something. I watched several of them last night. Yeah.
It's funny because it's like the problem is Overwatch, right? The problem is mobile games, and these game developers have always been trying to find a quote unquote profitable way to get their games to be profitable throughout the entire year, not just for their launch, right?
Right.
And you have a game like Overwatch that does it the quote unquote less scammy, less sleazy way. And they're making like hand over fist millions just on loot boxes.
Right.
But the difference is that Overwatch isn't pay to win.
Exactly.
It's pay to swag, you know what I mean? It's like pay to look good, pay to get stickers.
Just like Rocket League.
Exactly.
I think Call of Duty might be the same.
Right. And EA is like, no, let's just take it that one step further. And if you want Darth Vader,
the waters out.
Right, you know, you need a Sally Mae loan just to get Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. Who thought, I mean, in a room of businessmen, who thought anyone was just going to eat this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. But then I also read somewhere that they do this also because their audience is not the majority of average gamers. If they can get a whale, terminology,
right,
to spend $1,000, then that counts for how many. And then people are telling me that there's people that will spend $1,000 on a game, which I think is like that.
Easy.
That cannot be true.
Yeah, easy.
Is that easy?
Yes, people are insane, man. There's completists these are the same guys, you know what I mean, who would drive cross country, you know, to eat the McRib in every state. You know what I'm saying? These are the same guys who have, you know, just endless income and just like, I want to be the best and I want to have it all on the most minute infinitesimal detail. So for every wise individual like ourselves, we're like, screw this. There's at least one that's going to pay $5,000 in this game. And that's where they're making, and one out of, let's say 1 out of 200 people, I would say, are going to be the whale. And that times how many people are in the US, Japan, and Europe. I mean, it's ugly. And like you said, it's here to stay. And the only way we can really vote on any kind of regulation of this is with our wallets. You know? Just don't buy the game. I mean, like, I had a little inkling of a tingle to buy it. But now I'm just like, it's like, I've been mentioning this game on every single podcast, and it's Marvel Infinite. And I feel the same way, where it's like, I can't support this negative behavior, so I'm not going to buy the game. Even though I'm a big fighting game guy. That's my thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it irks me that I'm not playing a new Marvel game when I've played one every time they've come out since I was a kid.
Right.
And it's just because of these horrible practices of these companies that think just because they feed us gruel, we're just going to eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anywho, EA is evil.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll change it. Yeah.
Well, EA is evil. They're pretty much They're pretty much Umbrella at this point. Yeah, that's fine. I just want the EA virus, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Speaking of horrible viruses, let's talk about this virus of a movie. A Morbius the Living Vampire is going to be made into a movie by Sony Pictures.
All right.
Are you a comic book guy?
Well, I do like comic books, but I was always into the I was a huge graphic novel Alan Moore guy. And then I got into they're not the superhero comics, but the like suspense stories sort of thing, like Twilight Zone. You know, the thing that not everyone likes.
That's cool.
But, yeah.
I was just going to ask you, well, what's your favorite Alan Moore graphic?
Oh, I gotta go Watchmen, my
dude. Watchmen, my brother. Nah, man. Yeah, Watchmen's legit, dude. You can't defeat Watchmen. I read that for a comic book club once, and it was like I read a book. You know what I mean? A graphic novel book. And
You're right.
And it's so good, and they can't do it justice ever.
Yeah, I wrote a college paper on it. It was pretty good.
Damn. Yeah, man, we're going to have a Watchmen cast one of these days, man. You know, put our ankle in it. But Morbius the Living Vampire is a C- list villain. You know, why does he need his...
It looks like something out of like I want to say a drug-induced dream. So I don't know.
It's the 70s, man. He was created in the 70s and 80s.
Like, the hair looks like it's always going to be wet all the time.
He's sweating. He sweats a lot because he's living. He's actually depowered because he's a living vampire. If he was undead, he'll have the full power set. But he still has to, like, eat sandwiches and shit. I don't know what exactly his setup is. But Sony, in their cash grabbiest, just whatever, throw anything at the wall and see what the fans think. They've announced a Morbius Living Vampire movie with no Spider-Man, mind you. This is not he's in the Spider-Man Spider-Verse, quote unquote.
Right.
No Spider-Man to be seen in this movie.
That's insane. Like, he's in the Spider-Man universe, but, you know, Spider-Man's not in it.
Why would Spider-Man be there? What?
Yeah. The universe is huge.
The universe is awesome. Let's have...
Yeah.
Oh my... This hurts my body, man. Like, I'm already not feeling good. And this just makes, like, all my insides just turn. Because it's like, why would you create A created B to make C. So you're going to just say, we're just going to get B and try to make C without A? It's like, you need...
The one guy in his parents' basement with a bunch of Morbius...
Oh, you know there's that one guy.
Yeah.
He's so hyped
this is
right
my time.
Now. It's my day. I finally, all my Morbius tattoos will finally come to light.
Yeah, to be honest, that was me when Netflix announced the Punisher series.
You see that trailer? Oh my!
Yeah,
trailer of the year, man.
For sure.
Oh man, Morbius. That's all I want to say on that. It's stupid. Sony seriously doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, it's like we should have like saw that coming when they announced the Venom movie.
Don't get me started.
Okay, there's gonna be Tom Hardy, which is that's a good idea.
Okay,
but then Martin Scorsese is gonna be the director. Is that still a thing?
I think so.
Did you?
I think so. Like, what the fuck? Oh, what is this?
Yeah, you're just throwing like a bunch of names in the pile. Like next, it's gonna be Steven Spielberg or Quentin Tarantino.
It's gonna be Quentin Tarantino, and T.I. is gonna be in it. And the soundtrack's gonna be made by Fort Minor. And No, just no to all of it. I'm not giving it money.
Spider-Man's the hip one. He's the coolest.
How can you have a Venom movie without Spider-Man? How do you do it?
I don't know.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the Earth. I'm just like, what? That's like having a Superman. That's like making a brain.
Just a bunch of.
It's
just old people trying to be hip.
It's old dudes looking through a Marvel encyclopedia, flipping the pages and pointing at something. Hey, Silver Sable, let's give her a movie. What?
Let's reboot Howard. Wait, is Howard the Duck Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel.
But he's not getting his own film.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
I mean, Howard the Duck is awesome, but he can have a Netflix show. He can. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that going. Yeah, Howard the Duck Netflix show written by the people who do Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That would be so dark, dude.
Or that's what you have to go. You have to combat the duckness of Howard with like dark humor.
There's an episode
like Howard movie.
Howard gets racist or something. Like what?
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, that's enough about
the living vampires taking us down dark roads. Let's get out of here. Speaking of anthropomorphic animals busting on the scene, oh man, it's TURTLE power time because the Ninja Turtles are coming to Injustice 2. Oh my goodness, no one saw this coming. Like,
yeah, I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming, and I play the game every day. Like, I don't like what?
They didn't have any Easter eggs of like turtles running around the map.
No, man. There wasn't like any TGRI canisters laying around or no one throwing pizza at the screen. Cause everybody thought it was going to be like, how this works is that the game is made by NetherRealm. It's Injustice 2. It's a fighting game where DC heroes and some guest heroes come in and fight each other, right? Sure. And every few months there's a new fighter pack where a bunch of downloadable characters join the game. So last month it was Raiden from Mortal Kombat, Black Manta, who is a Aquaman villain, and who was the last? Hellboy, yes, who I'm playing now. He was a big guest character last time around. So everyone was saying, ooh, who's going to be the guest characters in this time? And everyone was saying Spawn to Beast Boy to Neo from the Matrix. We don't know. Like, people were just making guesses.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Neo? That would have sucked so bad.
I don't know. They could be going the route of like Mortal Kombat and have any grotesque or like any person they want. They could have had Leatherface in Injustice. I would have gone with that.
Dude, just have Brundlefly in Injustice, you know?
Yeah.
Just barfing like fly vomit on people and throwing pieces of himself at you to gross you out.
Right.
That'd be sick. Dude, but you play it and people we still don't understand like how this works. Like, you don't play as Leonardo or Donatello or Raphael. You play as all of them at the same time.
What? That's cool.
Like, how do you do that? Like, we're all just kind of like guessing, like, how is that going to look?
Right. That's going to be crazy.
That's going to be crazy. I'm so hyped. Like, it's one of those things you didn't know you wanted it's like when you're asleep and your mom wakes you up with breakfast. Like, you weren't expecting it, but you're like, yo, all right. I can go for some pancakes right now.
Yeah.
You wake up and you smell the bacon. You're like, yo, all right.
But who's Enchantress?
Enchantress is a Suicide Squad villain / hero, and she's
the one that's in like black in the Suicide Squad, or like she's the witch.
She's the witch. She's the one that does the little wiggle dance, and I don't know. She's such a wasted character. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the Atom. Ignore her, right?
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, there's that one Enchantress guy with posters all over his room. Like,
Right.
yo, we in there. Time to spend $80. I'm going to buy this game tonight. Let's go. And of course, the last character was the Atom, which is normally Ray Palmer. And the Atom's kind of like Ant-Man, but he can shrink even further downer than Ant-Man. He's kind of like a molecular guy. But this time it's your boy Ryan Choi, who was the next up in the mantle of the Atom. But I can go into that for hours. And we're on a It's comic books, man. It's super dumb. But yeah. Super dumb. And unnecessarily convoluted. But I do have to ask you, Winter, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Go.
Michelangelo.
Oh, okay. I'm a Leonardo guy myself, but that's all right. I can't fight you on that. You know?
You can't fight. Yeah.
Go for it.
To be honest, it's been like forever since I've ever seen a Ninja Turtle film or like movie.
Same here. Like, it's just one of those things where it was the furthest thing from my mind, right? Because I don't follow the show. I was never a big Turtle fan, but who doesn't light up when you see the Turtles in one of the things you're doing? It's like the little 5-year-old Mike who had his Leonardo toy was like, yo, if I can play as Leonardo, I'm just gonna main this character forever. That's my boy. So it's like, I'm not gonna be upset that Spawn didn't make it into the game. Honestly, he wasn't that best of a fit for this game. He's actually he's better as a Mortal Kombat character because he can get all bloody, you know.
Right.
But the Turtle,
Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat for kids.
Injustice 2, Blood Edition.
Yeah.
You see Superman just rip open the Joker or something nuts. What the fuck?
That's how they should introduce Injustice 3 when they ever make it. It's just like new rules, new limits. It's just Superman just destroying the Joker.
You just see,
or they do a crossover of like they did for DC Mortal Kombat. They do a Injustice Mortal Kombat versus Mortal Kombat.
Can you imagine a trailer where you see the Joker just sitting there being a Jokery? You just see a red light come from his stomach, and it just shoots through, and it's a laser. You have Superman on the other side, and guts and stuff spill out. And it's just like MK versus the DC Universe 2. You're just like, what? Okay.
Now that's DC film that I want to see.
Yeah, I just want to see Superman go nuts.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect segue, actually, into the last news of this, a bit of news, which is the Justice League reactions. Ooh. How do you feel about, are you keeping track with all this Justice League stuff?
That's pretty much.
Yeah, but
I mean, I've grown out of a lot of superhero films because a lot of them are just, they don't catch me. Like I watched Doctor Strange. I'm probably going to see Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
Definitely going to see Punisher series.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Batman v Superman.
Good.
I'm curious. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard like a lot of people say that these are like dark movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then I see clips of Justice League of the Flash making jokes to Batman, and I'm like, that's not dark at all.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson that people are over the dark shit, and it's just like, you did yourself a service not seeing Batman v Superman, because I left that movie fuming. Like, you ever see like dogs that just bark at other cars as they're driving by?
Yeah.
That was me I was yelling at other cars about why did it happen in this movie. And the guy was like, I know, right? At a red light. And they would just drive off and continue with our lives. It was rough. And I told myself I wasn't going to pay to go see this movie, but it's my grandmother's birthday weekend and she wants to see it. So it's like,
hold up. You have a grandparent that wants to see a superhero movie?
Dude, let me tell you a quick story. I know we're kind of pressed on time, but I went to go see Thor Ragnarok maybe like a couple of weeks ago, right? And I just went by myself. I got my car checked out. I was just like, let me just go so I can have something to talk about on the podcast.
Right.
And I get my ticket. I'm waiting upstairs for it to open. And I just hear my name called. Just Michael. I'm like, what? Like, is it over? Is this time? Am I just going to get sniped out? I turn around. It's my grandmother, my aunt, and her kids all going to go see Thor at the same time. I'm going to go see it. And I'm like, what is happening? My grandma was like, oh, we're taking pictures and we're going to sit together. And my grandma loves the Marvel movies. So whenever these come out, are the DC movies, she always picks my brain because she knows I know this stuff. So yeah, she's a blast. Cool. She's like a really laid back grandma. She's like, we're going to go see Justice League and we're going to see Avengers together. I'm like, okay, Nana, you got it. Let me know if you have any questions,
Right.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's the only one in my family too. It's just me and my Nana that just loves this stuff. It's nuts. Oh man. But yeah.
So what are your thoughts about the Justice League thing? Do you think that these initial reviews are going to be accurate?
I think so. I'm going in with the lowest expectations possible.
Yeah.
I'm going in like I'm being forced to go to a rom-com on a date. Like I may just be looking at my phone the whole time expectation. And if it's good, I'll be the first one to sing its praises. I want it to be successful. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want these two companies to be at competition so they get better. But do I have any kind of hype for this movie? No, I was not going to spend money on it. I'm just going to wait until someone walks up to me and tells me, Mike, it's good. Go see it. And I'll be like, fine. But other than that, I was like, I wasn't going to be hurt by Zack Snyder again. I'm like Stella when she got her groove back. You know what I mean? I was like on this weird kind of Mary J. Blige kind of like, I'm not going to cry no more relationship.
Yeah. You've already done too much damage. Get out of here.
My soul is already torn asunder. Why do you tear at the tears? So I was just not going to do it. And, I just was kind of really,
emotion.
Yeah, just too many emotions, man. So I was over it. Cool.
I like how one of the tweets from on the IGN article that we read, Peter Scaretta, he says Flash and Aquaman steal the show, and I just have to say, when it's Aquaman stealing the show,
that's a problem.
Yes, that should be like a red light blinking in your skull that you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Go see Justice League.
It's like walking up to
Yeah, wait till you see the director's cut. I'm going to predict like a director's cut is going to be 3 hours long, and it will be better like they did like BVS.
Just wait for the ultimate cut or some bullshit.
Right.
And like you said, it's a day long,
Yeah.
Why is it? Your main heroes are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Why is Aquaman stealing the show?
Right.
Problems. Okay. Very good news. So let's quickly go through our questions and answers. Yeah. If you want to ask a question to the podcast, I will answer it in which the order they are received. And you can send that to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. You can say, hey, Mike, I was watching the Justice League and my brain started to melt. Can you repeat that email address? I sure can, brain melt, man. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. So I'm just going to fire these through at you, Winter.
Right.
See what you feel like. So, is there an opening credit scene in a movie, video game, television sequence that you would say is your favorite? Like anything that comes to mind?
Well, right now it would be between two video games that I've been playing right now. I mean, there are movies. I do like. I find the credits in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
to be
that's pretty
fantastic.
Godlike. Yeah.
But then for video games, I found the opening credits for the Friday the 13th game that came out.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
Oh, it was great. It was like a throwback to like you were putting in a VHS tape it had like the scratch on the screens coming in, or like, and it had like the canned audio.
Yo, that's what's up.
But then I also like, just because of how ridiculous it is, the Rocket League intro, where when they release an update, they always put in this like awful EDM music, and it's all like it's like you don't know the audience that you're playing. So I just like listen to it, I jam out to it for a second, and then I just like mute all the music.
That's what's up, man. Immediately,
Yeah.
right? And that was nice, right? Oh,
Right.
man. As you mentioned that, I like, in regards to like opening sequences, I do like the intro to Alien Isolation, which is like this older game where it was all kind of like bad, like the way the 80s thought the future was going to be, with like scan lines and like plain text type, and it just was very, very like throwbackish, and I always thought that was kind of a cool effect. And and funny enough, the opening to Watchmen was the best part of the movie to me.
Oh yeah, that the 10-minute long.
Yeah, times they are changing, kind of.
Yeah,
it was like that could have just been the movie, and just I could have went home.
Yeah.
Oh, Watchmen was such a train wreck. Oh man, they marketed that movie weird. Like there was a certain scene where I have to say 3 families had to drag their kids out. Rough. Oh
yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite video game character design? That not even video game, like comic book character, like just overall character design that comes to mind.
Well, if this is going to be I think the last question we can do, I got to get going.
Absolutely.
I do like the character design of Batman and the Arkham Knight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. They should have just stole the story from the games and just made those into the movies.
Right.
Then I would also, but I do like the Punisher outfit for this upcoming series.
Right.
Which is, you can't go wrong with a skull on your chest.
It's an iconic image, man. You know what I mean? Okay, for me, I would say I love. People are gonna hate me, but I love this Dante from Devil May Cry. His Devil May Cry 2 uniform, which is a horrible game, but he looked clean as hell.
Yeah,
it was designed by Diesel, I think, and it's the sharpest Dante ever looked, and that's one of my favorite character designs. And other than that, just the Predator from The Predator. I always loved the Predators.
Yeah, Predator's good.
Like this warrior, kind of like almost Aztecian, but also Zuluan kind of character. It's just so dope. And of course, he has his flesh face. Oh man! In closing, I know you got to go, but real quick, what are you looking forward to this week? Anything coming up?
Ooh, well, I'm getting paid, so I'm probably gonna be buying Call of Duty World War II.
Nice.
And just get an ice pick to stab in my leg to just like tell myself, why did I buy this?
I know the feeling, my friend.
Yeah. But look forward to that.
Same here, I'm getting paid too, so I'm gonna buy that new expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn. So that looks really good, and every paycheck I think about buying Marvel and I don't. And I think that's a victory all into its own. So, Winter, where can we find you, man? You want to plug any place? Anything?
Oh, here we go. All right, that's a Donkey Kong reference, everyone.
We're going.
Yeah. Check me out on my website, wintersturdevent.com. WINTERSTUR. Well, yeah, you get it. You'll see my name.
You'll figure it out.
And if you just type in Winter Sturdivant in Facebook, you'll find me there. Winter S, you'll see me. I'm also on Instagram, Winter capital I. Bandcamp, I'm on there.
Yo.
I'm all over the place. So catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. He's like multiple man. He just sets himself up all over the country.
Yep.
If you catch him and you push him, it'll just pop. And then you have to assign a new multiple man to that state.
Only the catching part is trying to catch money, and none of these things catch money.
No, trust me, I know. I'm waiting for my sponsors.
Yeah. Oh, check out Couch Commentary, by the way, which is the new podcast I created, where I do like audio commentary on Twilight Zone episodes right now, or anything else I find on Netflix.
Get me on that, dude. I would love to do that. I'm a Twilight Zone head, so I would love to do that with you, man.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, man, just let me know. That's cool. Awesome. Cool. And as always, you can find me on Twitter. That is at mnerdiverse. That's at the letter M in the word nerdiverse. You can send me stuff there. Fan art, which I need to create a actual master of the nerdiverse. I need to draw that. I have to figure it out. But other than that, it has been an insane pleasure having you on the show. Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless, but I'm still talking. It's weird.
I do what I can.
That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. As always, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Alexa, and formerly of Asgard, but they kicked people out. They kicked us out. I'm of course your host, Mike G, and I will always ask you to take that one step beyond.